for years, I was super bearish on Chinese banks and Chinese property. Chinese banks were growing loans at 20%. I was like, this thing is going to be a massive bubble. I felt like I was, the sky is falling, and it went on and on. And then I think 2020, 2021, Evergrande started to implode and the entire Chinese property bubble unraveled. And I was like, oh, wow, the shoe has finally dropped. This crash that I've been waiting 6-7 years for has finally happened. And the whole market's down 40%. I'm like, now I'm massively bullish. Like the crash has happened. I felt like the analog is to the post GFC. I was like, it's 2024. Chinese property has been crashing for 2 or 3 years. No one's invested. The stocks are super cheap. Interest rates are low. The government's trying to stimulate the economy. Nobody thinks it will work. Everyone's bearish. No one's invested. I'm like, this is like how I was in 2009 and 10. And I totally, at the time, underestimated how fast the recovery would be and the upside in the markets. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to actually get massively bullish on this thing. And I'm going to buy everything. I'm going to buy what is the most levered to this upside. And I remember how in 2004, 2005, I was at Passport, and John Burbank had this view that there was going to be a bull market in Asia. He says capital is going to come in and there's going to be a massive shift into Asian stocks and out of the US. He was bearish on the US. And he's like, I want the most levered things to this move. And he was like, I want to own stock exchanges and asset managers. So we had Hong Kong Exchange, Singapore Exchange, Bursa Malaysia, bunch of added some asset managers, which I don't remember. But anyways, I totally underestimated. I was the fundamental analyst, and I was like modeling 15% earnings growth or something. And I was like, oh, these kind of are expensive. The earnings for Hong Kong Exchange, I think over 4 years, went up 5 times. I mean, it was going up 60, 70% a year. It was blowing away all of my fundamental estimates. It was growing exponentially. And so I was like, wow, these businesses have so much upside optionality in a bull market, and the analysts always underestimate it. So I'm like, this time I am not making that mistake. I am going to get into Hong Kong Exchange. I'm going to pay the 30 times because my bet is 3 years out, these numbers are going to be much higher than any of us are forecasting.